One of the key questions any investor or lender is going to ask or certainly be curious about is how big is the market for this thing you're doing? So we want to talk about market size. Now we'll talk about segmenting the market as well, but the market size overall is how big a universe of potential customers are there to buy your product or service. It's pretty much as simple as that. And what you want to have here is you want to have some credible sources. According to such and such a survey, there are X number of people in the world who do such and such. In fact, according to the Small Business Administration, there's about 800,000 people a year who start a new business. That's an important factoid. I can put that in my business plan. I can quote the Small Business Administration, and no one's going to argue with me about this. These are some things. What we want to emphasize this other concept as well is making it unarguable. This is one of those places you don't want investors to challenge you. They're going to challenge you in a number of places in your business plan just to be sure you've got it right, and they may challenge some of your assumptions. But at least in the market analysis, this is the factual details, the data. For example, you could say there's a mailing list we can buy. I can buy a mailing list right now of 872,000 orthodontists. I don't know if the number's not even accurate, but let's just say you could go online and buy a catalog of mailing lists, and you can rent these names for 10 cents a piece. This is the part where you're building a case here. This is a key ingredient to building this case for your business, is how big a business can you have. So if you've got this database of X hundreds of thousands of orthodontists, for example, you could say, well, at some point later on, you can say, we're going to send these guys a postcard. We're going to do a mailing campaign. We're going to do a calling campaign. We're going to do something here. This is how many of them there are. So then one of the assumptions then later on that you're going to use is going to say, if I could sell X percentage of these orthodontists my new device that sells for $150, we can make X. So you've got to have this fundamental background foundational piece of data on your customers that is unarguable, like I say, and it builds the case for how big this business can become, because if you don't have X number of customers, who are you selling this thing to? So, and we'll talk about customer segmentation in a second. So anyway, you want to show how many customers you have, because that enables the investor to do the math.